Well, after needing to play a lot of Black Ops 3 for the last video, I wanted to go back to Black Ops 2 and try something I've never done before, a no purchase challenge. If you've never heard of it before, you're only allowed to purchase doors so that the map is opened up, but nothing else. No wall weapons, no mystery box, or perks. And just for that little bit of extra suffering you guys have come to expect from my challenges, let's do it on Die Rise. Our strategy is going to be simple for the first few rounds. Leave one zombie left and then use the old trick of moving multiple trample steam parts to this ledge and then dropping them all to the bottom floor. Head down while trying to not fall off like my career and build our trample steam. After that, end off the round and take the next few waves to gather as many points as possible. Walking into some of the areas further down the building without perks or any guns would simply be no bueno. I was hoping to leave this room that I'm in by the end of round 4, but my grenade had another idea and round 5 was our special round. These jumpy boys are our only way of getting perks in this game because completing the round without shooting them gives a free randomized perk. Of course, it was double tap in a challenge where I can only use the M1911 because Die Rise hates me. By the way, thank all of you for 140,000 subscribers. Now let's try to make the push for 150k, so check to see if you're subbed and like the video since it helps the channel way more than you'd think. But with way more than enough points, it was time to get some stuff done, so I headed down and around until I reached the power switch and began building our best friend for the rest of the video, Mr. Slicky. It's not a purchase because you build it and it costs nothing, so it's actually allowed in this challenge. Don't worry, I'm purposely not going to be using any overpowered camping strategies with it because that would just bore us both to tears. It's time to head up to the roof since staying down there is a recipe for disaster, and for some reason my brain thought this spot was going to be a good idea. Standing here with anything besides a sniper rifle is mega cringe and always has issues, but sure, let's do it using the shampoo gun, which doesn't actually kill zombies all that quick. Oh, and I still don't have Juggernog. After a few more rounds, it was Jumping Jack 2 Electric Boogaloo, and I was given Juggernog actually, which really shocked me since I was convinced we were going to be waiting until around 25 or 30 for that. Now it's time to start going through a few rounds, so back to the trample steam room where I actually got really hesitant at first to use the liquefier at all. Again, it's a really good wonder weapon on high rounds, but mostly if you're just standing still. When training around, the pool of goo it leaves behind tends to make things more difficult because the zombies will slide around like your uncle after a few too many. Especially since I still don't have quick revive or who's who and I kinda don't want to have to restart. Before we continue though, I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. HelloFresh delivers fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and recipes to your door at an affordable price. That makes it easy to create fast, delicious meals that are ready in less than 15 minutes, meaning you've got more time to keep gaming. HelloFresh is even cheaper than the grocery store and 25% less expensive than takeout, which is great because who doesn't love saving money? It's actually 2 AM for me right now, and even thinking about their seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce is just making my mouth water so badly. If this sounds good, then click the link below to get 21 free meals plus free shipping. It also helps support the channel, and thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring the video. Round 14 was another hippity hop round, and they gave me Mule Kick. Again, this is a challenge where I can't buy anything, and if you ever feel useless, just think about how at least you aren't Mule Kick and you'll instantly feel better. Well, next Bouncy Boys wasn't any better since they gave me Speed Cola. Okay, to be fair, at least a little bit, it does help me reload quicker, which will help later on for insta-kills with my M1911. Oh, by the way, this is a good time for me to address something from the last video. I'll make this quick, but I just personally don't want people making reaction videos from me anymore, and that was my way of saying it. We've got a special thing going on with this channel, and I trust that if something cool happens, then you guys can get it out to the masses. I really just don't want reactions, and thanks to most of you for being very understanding with that whole thing. Back to the current chaos though, round 23 is Rabbit Gamers, and we finally get quick revive for some much needed game ending security. That also means we can finally leave this hellhole of a spot because I hate these spawns, and let's get out before anything bad happens. Our new spot actually has a view of the entire city, and it only cost me a few feet picks to a mysterious supporter. Hashtag blessed or something like that. Want to know some completely useless information that I guarantee none of you know? Die Rise takes place at 12:48 PM and the weather outside is a comfortable 72 degrees Fahrenheit. The refrigerator creators around the map are working somehow and they show these numbers, I would say I just made you smarter, but that would actually be a lie. Hey, it's time for more boingos, and we get our last perk, Who's Who, to complete the set for no other reason than just to flex. And with only a few more minutes of making zombie slip-on shampoo until they explode, we're at round 30, and things are going about as well as they possibly could. That means on round 35, it was time to change things up and head down to the Buddha room for a few rounds. Remember, I'm not using any camping strategies here, so this was actually kinda chaotic. I was doing enough quenching to create buns of steel, and actually now that I remember this, I'm actually really sad that the pole in this room got patched. For anyone who isn't ancient like I am, there's a red pole in this room you used to be able to stand on, and the zombies would be funneled into the bottom of it. With the liquefier, you were able to control them and easily get to high rounds by just standing still, but at some point Treyarch decided to ruin our fun and made it so that standing there for long enough would cause Samantha's curse. Your guns would all be taken, and so would every single one of your perks. Pretty harsh if you ask me for it not actually being a glitch spot, and I can't think of another time like this where you were punished for so much, even for just not cheating. I don't know why they felt like they needed to be so harsh with this. If you can remember any other time, then tell me in the comments. Also, yes, I am still using my trample steam to get through Leaping Larry rounds, because even though I'm not getting perks, I still need to assert my dominance. Once I got into the late 30s though, I was starting to get uncomfortable in here too, since there's about a dozen spawn points, and the goo always makes me second guess running by any groups of zombies in case it dried up right then and I would get swarmed. Just because I'm watching this back while making this script, I have to say the insta-kills with the M1911 will never get old because it looks so out of place on high rounds. But here we are, round 40, still no down somehow, and honestly it's time to make like your dad and leave. So at the end of the round, I headed up the elevator and made the terrible decision of hanging out on the rooftop for a little while. I was doing this to keep things spicy, but the zombies wanted that smoke and were on me right away. A pair of insta-kills helped out, but once they were done, it was time to quench the cheeks again. A crowbar couldn't separate them because slow kill or liquefier is not what you want in a close quarter strategy. That's why it wouldn't surprise me if I took down right here. But that's not where our story ends. With like half a second before getting game overed, I was able to revive myself and get 5 perks back from a Who's Who, which basically saved this game and helped finish the round. I fail so often in these spots that it even surprised me that it wasn't a game over. With that said, I did learn my lesson and immediately left that roof for the next round. I tried using the trample steam room again with the second couch open, but nope, I saw this coming like 30 rounds ago. Now we have no perks and it's round 43. How do we live? Well, sheer luck and by being an absolute Chad level gamer. Back to the penthouse view we go because it's a nice open area to hoard up zombies in without constantly worrying about random double slaps. Little did I know at this point just how long we were going to need to go and be careful like this. Just as a reminder, the challenge rules mean I can't go and buy any perks, so we just need to wait for a Frisky Fred round and hope that we get something good. Guess what, kids? Round 45 wasn't the special round either, because of course it wasn't, but hey, another max ammo, an insta-kill, and a nuke all at once is really nice and will speed things up drastically. We do still need to be careful though, because getting overzealous with any of them could really screw us over. Good thing wave 46 was our spoopy crawly round, and my trample steam instantly breaks. So in order to get a perk, I can't shoot anything, and knifing them would be way too dangerous, so now I need to hoard them around near the power switch until an elevator shows up. Luckily, I get one just as it's heading up with sheer dumb luck, since if they got stuck in that elevator with me, this game would have been over no doubt. Finally though, I've got my trample steam, and finishing out the round, we get quick revive, which hey, I'll take since at least it's not mule kick again. Sadly though, that means at least 4 more rounds with no Juggernog, and my heart was starting to race. I'm getting old here alright. I'm 24, which is the internet equivalent of 84, and I can't take the stress anymore. My boomer body is going to have a heart attack. Round 49 was where our clear lack of Juggernog really screwed me over, since I basically got caught on a tiny little piece of debris which slowed me down enough to get caught in the horde. Now our safety net's gone, and it double hurts since that was literally the last few zombies in the entire round. What a great way to celebrate round 50 by having Henry come back for another go at my trample steam. And this time we got Who's Who, which is again acceptable, but not Juggernog, and even longer to wait until I can get another shot at it. Honestly, looking back, I should have restarted by now, but let's be honest, a straightforward round 100 with no downs is way less entertaining than my prolonged suffering by trying to kill zombies on round 53 with the unpacked M1911 and 1 perk. That's what you watch me for, and you know it. Well, it's time to play the jumping jack lottery, and we have a 20% chance of getting Juggernog, so let's see what we get. Speed cola. I just I need a break. Alright, so back from my break, it's time to go another 4 rounds with my butt clenched with enough pressure to create diamonds. Seriously, look at the hordes I'm running. They're either tighter than your dad's wallet or a complete mess because the Sliquifier's sticky lean would get in the way. I was even starting to get forced to the lower floor to avoid potentially bad situations, but I do suspect that's because the zombie spawn rate was still increasing and I hadn't fully adjusted to it yet. Well, clearly I hadn't, because I just straight up took an unlucky down and became so close to losing my game multiple times when I was in Who's Who mode. But I decided screw it and stuck the revive and came up money. And it just so happened this was another down to the last full horde of zombies in the whole round. That's always a little bit soul crushing. I did survive all of round 57 and it was that time once again. Will we hit the jackpot or strike out swinging? Moment of truth, absolutely legendary. It's been 15 rounds and 2,500 zombies since we had Juggernog, and getting it back felt so good. We are back in the game. Just as a little icing on the cake too, 59 even gave me a max ammo and an insta kill just to speed things up a bit. It's always good to see the big 6-0, since to be honest, it felt like this game would have even been lucky to reach round 50, let alone 60. But at this point, because I have Juggernog, I'm already starting to think ahead to the next special round, since absolutely worst case scenario, we could get quick revive back on round 83. Getting that unlucky would be hard though, so where do I go once we do get quick revive? Do we just keep hoarding here since it's safe and get to round 100? I was kind of a little bit conflicted. Well, I'm trying to figure that out though. Round 61 gave me another max ammo and a nuke right away as an apology for having to play this map at all pretty much. A few days ago was actually Rise's 10th birthday, and honestly I think it's aged the worst of the BO2 zombies maps. At least Transit has the novelty of the bus and the survival maps. Rise just kind of exists, but I do see why some hardcore fans like it. There's nothing really comparable to what it tried with the verticality and many play spaces even in 2023, so that does deserve some credit. Round 61 went by without too many issues, and 62 started off pretty well with our next perk coming on 63, and it all went great until a barrier appeared where it shouldn't have and shoved me off the map to my death. I'm gonna need another nap. Now go watch this video of my round 50 SMR only challenge on screen right now. Thanks for watching, bye.